It's a good day, it's a good evening, and I'm hoping that all of you are here and you're watching us live. We've been having some little difficulties here, there, and so on, but don't worry, we are going to get those sorted. We are going to get those sorted. So I'm saying good night, good night, good night to everyone. Are we ready? Just call up your friends, call up your neighbors, call up your aunts, your uncles, everybody. Just let them know advancing the cause is on. Well, this evening we got quite a lot to talk about. I mean, we've been trying with this, trying with that. I am here, somebody is there. We've been trying to get this thing fixed. But don't worry, the message is going to be clear. Very, 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 very clear. Um, as we go on, we're going to talk about what's happening in our beautiful Guyana. In our beautiful Guyana. I don't know. Operator, if you're hearing me, just give me a thumbs up somewhere that I know you're hearing me so that we're set with what is happening. I don't know where um, our comments, but we are going to be. Hi, Andrea. Good night to you. Good night. Good night. It's good to see you. And it's good to see everyone else who's on. Makila, good night to you too. And it's good to have you here. Just like everybody else, Roxanne and everybody, good night to you. Hi, y'all stop. Don't get me in trouble. Don't get me in trouble because Bloomingdale Bridal, when I start calling all these names, Roxanne and everybody else, Rhonda and everybody else, y'all gonna put me in some trouble. But tonight I want to say to our birthday celebrants, those who celebrated their birthdays yesterday, today, the day before, happy, happy birthday to you. And I know that God has been good to you, hence the reason for you having another year. And as you go forward in this new chapter, I trust that you are going to be even more blessed. And like that, we've had quite a lot of wedding anniversary, 25 years old, 30 years old, 15 years, 10 years. Look, happy, happy anniversary to you. Wedding anniversary, birth anniversary, engagement anniversary, all kinds of anniversary. Just happy anniversary to all of you. Well, let me tell you what's happening tonight on our highlights for this evening. On our highlights for this evening, we have quite a few. Number one, the accidents. We've been having too many accidents on our roadways. Something is wrong somewhere. I don't know where, but something is wrong somewhere. And I'm hoping that as Guyanese, near and far, we are going to pray for this country. Too many of our Guyanese are losing their lives. Too many of our young people are losing their lives. And yes, some of our matured and senior folks are losing their lives too. And all of these are coming because of recklessness in some instances. I'm watching at some of the videos there, and I saw today on the East Coast, somewhere at Good Hope there, a driver just veering off the road and into a car. I mean, we're doing too many things. Some of us on our cell phones, some of us trying to fix something. We've got to stop the nonsense. Too many accidents. And these are caused by reckless behavior. Too much drinking, partying, and then you want to drive to get home. You all people just stopping in the middle of the road. And I'm hoping that the Commissioner of Police acting is hearing me. Get your men on the streets. At certain times you see them, and then at another time you don't see any of them. Get them out on the streets. We cannot continue to lose so many of our citizens. We already got a population that is supposed to be less than 750. And if we keep losing and losing and losing, then what is going to happen? We wouldn't have anybody. So come on, we got to do better than what we're doing. Let's stop the carnage on the road. And then, of course, we had today the public protest that continued in front of GCOM, where the PNCR and the opposition as a whole, we've continued to call for a clean voters list. I know that the operator has those photographs that he's going to throw them up. A clean voters list and biometrics. So it's not only about a clean voters list, because you know what can happen there, eh? But we want biometrics, a clean voters list and biometrics. That's what we want to see as we approach the date for elections. This is what we want to have. And then two, we're saying that, you know, Claudette saying she has outlived her usefulness there. And we're asking that she gracefully bow, that she bows out gracefully. Claudette, thank you for your service. But the time has come for you to go. You gotta go. You gotta go. You gotta go. Don't stick around too long. You have to go. So that protest will continue every Tuesday. Every Tuesday from 1 to 2, 12 to 1, that protest will continue. And we're going to be having that. You see, no more fraudulent elections, clean voters list. No more fraudulent elections. And so that is what we're asking for, as well as biometrics. We must go out and have that. We must continue to demand that, so that we're going to spare ourselves from having dead people voting, impersonation, and all the other things that we had coming out of the recount at the last 2020 elections. And then while we're on that, oh gosh, come on, people, we got to be a little more responsible. Fire here, fire there, fire everywhere. Today in Bartica, on 6th Street, I think it was, in 6th Street on 3rd Avenue in Bartica, a building went up in flame. Residents are homeless. We've got to be a little more careful. Got to be a little more careful. And so, folks, turn off the stove. Plug out the plugs. Turn off the switches. Have someone there to supervise our children, as long as we're going to have children left in our homes. We got to do better than what we're doing. We cannot afford to continue to have our homes going up in flames, and then we have nowhere to go. We got to go and shackle by some family here and a family there, and then families get tired of you, and all your life savings gone up in smoke. We can't afford that. So let's do the right thing. And then we have, well, I see this as a distraction, but what are you going to do? Police intelligence today led them to a house in Sandy Bob Street in Kitty, a home where they found 26 guns and also matching ammunition. 6 persons, we are told, have been arrested. And you know what? They're saying that that's the home of the deceased. What's his name again? Ricardo, for goodness, Paper Shorts. Yes, Paper Shorts. At where he used to live. And so 6 persons have been arrested: his brother, his mother, 2 sisters, a niece, and a handyman. They have been arrested. I don't know how far the police will go with that, but we'll await the investigations that are going to be coming out of that. But you know, it's amazing that our police force, the Guyana police force, they are using all these kinds of intelligence. There you go. You have it there. All those weapons that were found with one man. And you notice every other week we find in a whole stash with weapons. I don't know if it's another phantom squad that is being put together, or it's a parallel police force. I don't know. But it's strange that we're finding all of these weapons. In South Ronville, just the other day, we found a suitcase with weapons. Then you found weapons at somebody else's home. Now, you know, this morning, sometime this morning, we found the police found another one. And while I'm going to say kudos to the police force for being able to pull these weapons off the streets, I'm hoping that these weapons will remain there, because we've had complaints where these weapons are being seized and then they disappear. You don't find them when it's time to go into court, when the exhibits are supposed to be in court. So you don't find them. Or you see bandits out on the streets committing crimes, and then somebody, when the weapon is collected or retrieved, then you hear, oh, this weapon was craziness. So Guyana Police Force ensure that these weapons are kept under lock and key. Mind you, I'm not accusing the members of the Guyana Police Force of being thieves or of being dishonest, but all I'm saying, put them under lock and key. And if somebody is going to have the keys, then that person and that person alone must be responsible. You can't have 5, 6 persons handling the keys, because when one will disappear, you're not gonna know. Nobody will know who moved it. So that was what we had happening there. And then of course we got the big one with 24 years old. Yes, I think he's 24 years old. Sean Davidson. Sean Davidson, that construction worker who lived in Northeast the Penitent, somewhere there. But the young man who put on a fine licking on that little baby. Come on, what's happening with our people? Where is Minister Vindi Prasad? Because this here is a clear case of mental health. This is a clear case of a dysfunctional young man, a dysfunctional family. When a 24-year-old man would want to beat a child mercilessly. Oh, come on. So he was charged today for attempted murder. The child is in hospital in critical condition with a fractured leg, and he has been remanded to prison until August 12th. August 12th, he's going to be in hospital on, well, not hospital, sorry. He has been remanded to prison until August 12th, so that case will come up again. But this here is saying that something is definitely wrong with our society. Something is wrong with our society. Men killing women, now a man beating up a little child. Barajagdio, the time you take to be on your program every Thursday cussing people out, arrange at that same place that you usually have the cuss out parade, arrange to have psychiatrists, arrange to have psychologists, arrange to have counselors so that people can go there and seek counseling when you're walking about the place and filling people's heads with a whole lot of lies. Get these same kinds of people to walk around with you so that they can identify some behavioral patterns in individuals and citizens across this country. You yourself, I think, need some psychiatric evaluation. You yourself need that. So, it might be a good thing for you to start doing that. But here again, we go. These are the things that are happening in our beautiful Guyana. And mind you, let me say this. Every time the PPP is in office, you check it. History has shown us. Every time the PPP is in office, is murder, is cocaine, is drive-by shooting, is police brutality, is something so, is husband beat up wife, is accidents, is fire. Check it. History has shown us that this is a pattern. Every time the PPP is in government, you check it if you think I'm lying. And then we got the other one on our highlights for this evening. I know we've got Comrade Anil Sugrim somewhere. He's going to be on with me just now. But I know we've got this other one, Emancipation Day. I noticed, like everything else, the PPP always wants domination. They always want to control everything. So they can't have their way with AGDA and IPADA G. And, we are approaching Emancipation Day, August 1st. And you know what they've decided to do? They've decided to use a couple of Afro-Guyanese to plan parallel Emancipation Day activities for August 1st. I don't know why these people like confusion, And the thing is that saddens me is the fact that some of our people are being used to perpetuate these kinds of nonsense. Now they want to bring Emancipation Day like another May Day. On May Day, they promote 2 May Day rallies. So that is the May Day rally that they will go to one of the national park or at Everest ground or wherever. That's the one that they will go to, where the fit-out arm of the trade union movement, they keep their thing. That's where the president will go. That's where the prime minister and so on will go. Now, we usually have one Emancipation Day activity in Georgetown, in New Amsterdam. And so they're forced to come there. But this year, they are now organizing parallel Emancipation Day celebrations. Now, let me remind some of them if they don't know. Emancipation Day reminds us of the struggles of our foreparents. It reminds us of how much they sacrificed themselves with blood, sweat, and tears to have this day when they were freed as slaves. And I don't know how some of you could allow Barra Jagdeo and Irfan Ali Well, don't talk about Mark Phillips. He is a sailor. He has no control over anything because he's Afro-Guyanese and he can't stand up to say to them, we must have one activity in Georgetown, which is what we were accustomed to having. One activity in New Amsterdam, which is the custom and practice. I don't know if, I don't want to sound a particular way, but when it's Pagwa and Diwali, we don't have 2 and 3 activities. When you have the motorcade, Diwali motorcade, you don't see another one coming somewhere else. Y'all stop this nonsense. And the pack of you who are allowing these people to get y'all to do foolishness, y'all better come to your senses and focus. This kind of nonsense must stop. And so I noticed IPADA G putting out a statement there. And they're calling on all right-thinking Guyanese to boycott these activities. Boycott all the parallel activities. We don't want parallel Emancipation Day activities. We have the activity in the national park. That's where people are drawn to. Don't let them tell you about going anywhere else, whether it's going to be at Everest or Maltinos or wherever they want to have it. We must boycott these activities. The parallel one that they're planning for in New Amsterdam, we must boycott that one too. The nonsense must stop, and we have to stop it. Stop allowing these vagabonds to change us and to get us to run their race. We're not running your race. Emancipation Day means a lot to us, and we must maintain that. Viewers, I'm hoping that you're listening. The PNC, the PPP, the PNC, we have gone a long way, and we have promoted social cohesion. If you check LFS Burnham, while he governed this country, he was the person who allowed for all the religious holidays that we have. He didn't decide that we must have one day. He decided that every religious group must have their day when they're going to observe, whether it's Pagwa, whether it's Eid, whether it's Christmas or Easter. He allowed for that. Don't allow these vagabonds in the PPP to want to come and change things and to mix us up. They're already mixing up things in this place. We must boycott everything. So all roads must lead to the national park. All roads. And yes, Sean Bowen, I like what you're saying. The PPP are a cursed government because check to see all the things that are happening. By the time our friend was sworn in on August 2nd, what happened after the big cocaine bus? We have to decide, and we will have to picket all these parallel groups that they're trying to form, all these parallel ACDA and IPADA G groups that they're trying to form. We must picket them. We must boycott these people, and they must understand that this is not the time to play. This is not the time to play. Well, so much for the highlights. Well, we go into another big one. If you have water, take a sip. If you have some Coke, take another sip. I got a friend who does mixer, but I ain't gonna tell you do that. If you have a nice little rag, just pat your cheeks and so on, and get your glass and you take a little sip. And let's go on again. We're going through this time. Peer power. Pace, as Sherrod would say, pace and power. We're going through this time. So we have, I don't know where is my comrade Anil Sagrim. He is one of our central executive member who lives way out in the quarantine. He is supposed to be on here. I'm not sure where he is. Oh, yes, I have him there. My brother, how are you this evening?
Hey, good night, and good to be here. Nice to be on with you tonight.
Welcome to Advancing the Cause. And you know, like Sherrod would say, this is pace and power. And we tell the truth. We don't hide anything. We talk the truth. And we say things just as they are. And of course, we say how we have been doing it between 2015 and 2020 and how we will continue to do it after 2025. But we can talk about this one here. The Guyana the Guyana Police Force. My mouth slipped just now, my tongue slipped. The Guyana Police Force. Now, we have seen all through last week. All kinds of allegations emanating from within the police force. Senior officers, we see something about, well, just the other day, some police officers were telling me that the sergeants and the inspectors' monies were deducted from their salaries for Christmas party. We had COVID then during 2020, 2021, and so on. We weren't allowing, the government wasn't allowing huge gatherings and so on. But these folks said they never had a Christmas party and the monies were not returned to them. Remind you, this is the police who's supposed to protect and serve. You're deducting monies from the people's salary, nothing happened, but the monies were not refunded to them. Anil, will you call to that?
Well, see, the thing is, what we got to understand, and I know we know that, we can't expect better from the PPP. The PPP want to turn this nation into a totalitarian communist state. They want to dictate the lives of every single person in this country. They want to make demands that they should not be making. And the thing is that so many of our people, is falling to a trap because they have been deceiving, they've been deceitful. The PPP are so deceitful that they deceive people in believing that things look genuine. But it's counterfeit. They're total counterfeit. The PPP is total counterfeit. And that is why they would have deducted money from people. And I guess they were hoping or expecting that something would have come out of that. But it's simply they rob the people. They rob the policemen. You can't expect nothing better from the PPP. Them even want to rob dead people. They want to rob people at the mental hospital. They want to rob people at the regional hospital. They want to rob people at the eye clinic. So you can't expect them to do better. It's they rob the people.
Well, boy, let me give you this one. Just today, I learned that you remember we had, I'm thinking about 2 weeks ago, we had a bus with 3 passengers who died from the fumes. Somewhere they were heading into Lethem or coming out of Lethem, somewhere there. 3 persons in a bus. I don't know if you remember that. But I learned from from family members that those people, not even their cell phones, they didn't get. And the police were first on that scene, I'm hearing. It is alleged that the police were the first persons on that scene. Not even the cell phones for the people they can't find. The driver, I think he had some $200,000. They couldn't find it. So when you talk about robbing dead people, so I could understand that, because here is it. You found this bus locked up with 3 persons inside. And you know what? They can't find no monies. They can't find the people's belongings. They couldn't even find cell phone to make contact with the people's families. It's some book they see somewhere and somebody decide to call, and then you hear, oh yes, this is, and then they said, yes, this is my family. The person got so much money on them. They're doing so, and they got something. They couldn't find it. Nothing was handed over to them. Guyana Police Force, while we have some good officers there, some good servicemen and women, we got some rogue ones. We got some real rogue ones.
The good officers are not allowed to perform their duties because they're being suppressed.
Well, thank you very much, because we come into that one just now. Imagine our Guyana Police Force. I've been doing some research, and I find yet any other police force like our police force. In our police force, we got 9 assistant commissioner of police. 9. 9 of them were appointed. So here again is the friends, the families, and the favorites.
Yes.
The people who could carry out their bidding are the ones who they're appointing. So we got 9 commissioners, assistant commissioners of police. 9. Man, look, I want to join the police force, because I want to reach up to the rank, because I see people jumping from the bottom and go until up to the top. Like in education, the chief education officer, the man come from way down at the bottom and pop, turn chief education officer. But he's supposed to be one of my colleagues. But, they don't like when I talk the truth. But,
the PPP want to ensure that they have machinery in place that they can take control of people that speak out, take control over people that stand for truth and stand for right. So they can victimize them, they can frighten them, they can terrorize them. And that is why they are putting these machinery in place so that they can give the instruction and they shut their eye while don't know which direction they're going and just carry out the function of the PPP administration instruction so that they can hammer the people of this country. People in this country being hammered every day by the PPP. You know, I can tell you a story. I don't want to disrupt your program, but I can tell you a story. The PPP know where it stands. Yesterday, they brought busloads of people from Suriname. They
What?
brought busloads of people from Suriname. You
What?
know, they went to Nikeri, Suriname, and they had a meeting with those people there, the Guyanese that lives in Suriname for years. They promised those Guyanese that come 2025, that if they vote for them, they can give them house, they can give them land, and they can give them money in Guyana. And so even up to this morning, they were using fake addresses, taking those people to GCOM to ensure that they register at GCOM, and then they plan to take them back either tomorrow or the day after tomorrow back to Suriname. How you believe they bring them over? They bring them over with a backtrack boat. They provide for them, they put them up, and how you believe carrying them over? They carrying them over back with the backtrack boat. That is what the people believe. Everything that you think about illegal and anything when you think about wrongdoing, you think about the PPP. They're champion of that. They're champion of wrongdoing, evil, wickedness, the PPP. This is what it's
Well,
good for.
well, I'm hoping that our viewers are hearing this, you know. I'm hoping that our viewers are hearing this. Mr. Aziz, good night to you. The PPP are out to do whatever it is to win the 2025 elections because they know very well that they're out. They know that from all that is happening, they know that. And so they want to not only use the Venezuelans that we are clamoring down on, but they're bringing the folks from Bangladesh, they're bringing the Cubans, they're going to bring some Bajans. Now they're bringing those Guyanese from Suriname. And you know what they want to tell us? They can tell us, oh, that these are Guyanese, they're Guyanese, but you weren't here all the time. But we have to look out for them. We got to look for them. And that is why we are on the move. And we
Yeah.
are doing our walkabouts. And we want them to know that we know the streets in our areas. We know how many houses are in each street. And we know how many persons are living there. So let them come with their stink and dirty business. We can fix it for them. It is not, this is not going to be 2020. And I want to put them on a high alert. This will not be 2020. COP 2025, sorry. This will not, with 2025 will not be 2020. So the PPP better understand that. And if they're the ones who bring in all them guns, y'all better know that they ain't gonna help y'all. The guns wouldn't help you. The guns wouldn't help you. But Anna, let's talk about the promotion list. I
Yeah.
see it was a promotion list was leaked. And
Yeah.
people who won the investigation get promoted. You ever hear anything like that?
Well,
I'm sure all those who have been part of the Guyana police force, you know, once you're under investigation, you can't be promoted. So how some of these people named top in list on qualified ranks are being promoted? While ranks were qualified, they are not being promoted. I hear you gotta talk name to be promoted. I hear you
well,
gotta be somebody girlfriend, somebody boyfriend to talk to get promotion.
yeah,
In short, you gotta
yeah.
be a part of the gang. And so look, we have here Superintendent Mr. Caesar. He's the head of the crimes unit, major crimes unit. He has been appointed to senior superintendent. And so he is now superseding all of these other superintendents that you got there. So it's the junior people jumping up above the senior people. I mean, what kind of upside down business is this? No wonder things can't go right. No wonder we had a 1.6 million or $16.5 million. I think it's $16.5 million we had as gifts. Look, I getting engaged next week, Friday. And I am giving an open invitation tonight. Open invitation, but when you come, you gotta bring monetary gifts. Monetary gifts I want. Because I gotta be in a class, like, And yes, Denise, you got pass it or you lose it. That's what giving you promotion in this in the Guyana police force. That's how you're getting promoted. But Anil, we gotta stop this nonsense.
Yeah, you see, the Guyana police force get a cycle of a box hand system. You know, I remember a story that the sergeant said if he didn't send X amount of money to the commander at the end of the week by manipulating and capitalize on other people on the roadways
Mm-hmm.
to particular commander, that when the promotion come out, he will not be recommended for inspector. And I'm telling
Wow.
a few years ago story. So this thing is a cycle of backstand. You know, they got the whiskey got to go properly, the sheet meat got to go there properly. You know, the watch rush and the lava got to go down there properly. All
Mm-hmm.
them things, all them things got to come and pass. And when you see the thing go up at the top there, well, them go say the competition is on. Is who give more to who and who give equivalent to who. Well, it's sort of promotion will go on.
Well,
It's not about who qualify. It's not about who performing the function of a proper rank, a decent rank, an honest rank, a genuine and fair rank. It's about a man who can put the thing in the pocket if he look bulky, and then chaps like it's got long pocket to the full bottom. You know? So when you throw thing inside the pocket, it's not full. So it always gets space to take some more. So
well,
you gotta be in that category. And when you're in that category, you don't worry nothing at all when promotion time come because the thing's solid.
the
And that
thing
is
solid.
exactly what is happening under the PPP government when they rule this country. That is what is happening.
But
Corruption galore.
Anil, look at we're now looking at the recommendations for promotion, and look at the panel, look at the panelists on the commission. We got the chairman is the acting commissioner,
Yes.
Ravindra Budram. He's a deputy commissioner administration. He's deputy commissioner administration. He's a member. You got Errol Watts, another assistant commissioner. He's a member. You got Mr. Calvin Brutus, head
Yeah.
of special branch. He's another member. You got Mr. Edgar Thomas, head of presidential secretariat or presidential guard. Sorry, and then you have the regional division commander, Mr. McBean. He's a secretary. So they comprise this committee who will look at the files of the police men and women and so on, and decide whether this one is recommended for promotion. So I figure that, when they come to the table, this is why thinking in my mind that when they come to the table, they already got a list there. They already got a list that they pass around. So when the name pop up, everybody say yes, 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 yes.
They,
No.
they know the list because that's why they get all them bag of money. Because the money been got there from all walks of life. That the people who get promotion, they know how the money coming to. So they have to pass the money to them. So they're stacking the money. So, but before the promotion come out, the list leak, and before they're gonna really stash off the money, some of the money has been found, and we know how much more yet. We ain't find and know about because
Well,
he must get plenty more money all about the place.
well, so we have this 16.5 that they try to sneak through the credit union, and then
Yeah.
you hear about 100 million that is stashed. And so my friend there, Mr. Calvin Brutus, he is now involved in some debacle there, some confusion there. And then by the time he is there, you see all kind of thing happening. Now I see Calvin Brutus. Is he send lawyers letter to Travis Chase? I think it's Calvin Brutus. Or he send some letter to lawyers letter. It seems as if all of these people related to Sue. Jack Deere is a friend of Sue, and all of them related to Sue because it shares suing and all kind of lawyers letters passing for threatening people and telling them they're gonna sue them. So Calvin sent letter to Calvin got his attorney to send a letter to Travis Chase. And then I see, I like how Travis Chase attorney handle it. Proper letter. Proper letter. And I will join with Mr. Anderson, attorney Anderson, to say happy marriage life to you too, my brother. I trust that God will continue to bless you. What else I can do? I got to join with them, but I am waiting to see what will come out of that. I mean, if your name get called in something, then we must have. Well, I know is who gonna do this investigation, because you can't put cat for watch milk.
But
Um,
there's a problem we get, the nation, the people in this country, I dwell and move and go around people all the time, and they don't have the confidence. People don't have the confidence in an ordinary investigation that is to be carried out, you know, by the police. Much less the police investigating the police. You know, for instance, my house was broken several years ago. That when I went to church on a Sunday morning, up to this day, I never hear from the police of what the
wow.
findings are. Up to date, you
Uh,
know.
uh,
And so you can't you don't even trust the police sometimes, if you get a good man among the others, they gotta pull in. They gotta stay quiet. They can't speak out. They can't act in the manner which they should act because of the level of
uh,
corruption, because of victimization, because of them being scared and afraid of the system and the political players that are involved. And that is what is happening to this country. This country has been mashed up by the PPP in the machinery that they're having. Every corner, everywhere is mashing us up,
this
whereby
this
people have
this
not been
thing is
able to live
this thing is so crazy.
carefree life, a life. But the people today, I tell people we gotta stand up. You gotta stand up for your right. Every one of us has a right, like everybody else, in an independent nation
I
that
know.
our fathers would have fought for and to set us free. We gotta be able to ensure that we stand up. We gotta get up and we gotta stand up. And we gotta
I
stand up.
know.
You know,
I keep saying it all along. We got to be able to stand up and fight for our rights. We cannot allow these people to do nonsense to us. We must be able to stand up and face these people head on. We can't allow nonsense to continue to happen. Look, between 2015, before then, Guyana was blacklisted. A
yeah,
whole lot of drugs everywhere. Guyana was blacklisted. When you travel to go to one of them Caribbean island, people watching at you. As soon as you put out the green book, people watching at you. They
yeah,
get Guyanese bench in Barbados. You go to Antigua, they harassing you. You go to Trinidad as a Guyanese, they harassing you. You go to the States, harassment. Between 2015, after May of 2015 to 2020, just before August 2nd, Guyana came off the blacklist. Citizens were free to walk the streets. Parents felt safe with their children going out, especially their sons. The police made a 360 degrees turn. They were professional again. And just after August 2nd, the madness start.
yeah,
The madness start. And this is a crown for the PPP. For those who don't know, this is a crown for the PPP. As long as they're in power, drugs. As long as they're in power, execution style shooting. As long as they're in power, you got a police force that is being manipulated, which becomes a political force. They are no longer allowed to perform their duties as professionals. They got to follow the charges, the instructions, the signals, the everything of the political master. And so we don't have people who can work any longer. And we
mhm,
got to change this.
yeah,
But I want to say to our folks in the police force and to the joint service on a whole, don't be carried away by double salaries. You see, when you get carried away by double salaries, these are the things that happen sometimes to you. You get bypassed for promotion. This is what double salaries is cause. You have to be focused. We got, like I said before, very, very professional ranks in the Guyana police force and across the joint services
yes, yes,
who have integrity. But again, we got some of the rogue ones, and we got to weed them out of the force. We don't have place for them here. In certain societies, if a police rank's name was called in something, the police rank would have had to step aside. But
Yeah.
that doesn't happen in Guyana. So we got all kind of scandals and allegations with monies trying to be laundered into the credit union. They're finding people with money by the desk, $100 million by the desk, and all kind of story. I remember folks talk about the I see some ranks complaining about the food that they're giving them. I don't know if the operator would be able to show us that one. Food that they're giving ranks. Ranks go to work at cricket at this forum, at that forum, and the food coming till what o'clock? And it's not the food coming late or whatever time the food coming, but if you see the quality of the meals that they're giving to our ranks, I mean, how do we expect our ranks to perform when you're treating them like dogs? How you expect them to perform?
Yeah,
Huh?
but
How do you
having
expect? Look,
having
look,
them
look, look,
working long
look
hours
here,
as
Anil.
well.
Just before you comment, look what they're giving to our ranks.
Yeah,
Look,
yeah,
look, and
yeah.
thousands, millions, hundreds of millions of dollars are budgeted and approved in the national budget. And this is what our ranks are eating. And in a little scrawly box and a black bag, the food coming in, the ranks who working at the international. This is what Guyana turned to. This is what Guyana turned to. But
And they may probably not have it in time too. They may get it long after when they're done hungry.
this
You
is
know,
what I keep saying.
the
Long after the
yeah,
time sometimes. And
condition
then sometimes you
condition
see they
of
give
our
them
ranks, it's terrible. When you
sometimes.
look at some places that the ranks work, the police stations, the barracks that they gotta stay in, the desks that they have to work on, um, it's terrible. It's terrible. We got huge budget, and I can tell you, some if you call the police or you make call the station, you're gonna make a report. That is up to this time and age. That is ask you. You get a vehicle. You come with a vehicle. The police, they don't have a vehicle to go with you on a report. They don't have a vehicle to attend to an emergency if
That
there's
is
an
true.
emergency you call. And we're talking about hundreds of millions of dollars that is budgeted to the Guyana Police Force. Headquarters can be found with a host of the money packed up there. Where it come from, God in heaven know. And then yet again, the
Mm.
people of this country is suffering to have justice, to live without fear because police can't operate. If you go around the Springlands compound area right up in Curveton, if you see the condition of the compound, if you see the condition of the houses and the new houses that were built at the back of Springlands police station was built under the coalition government. Those houses where we have the old houses were pulled off and new houses were put in place. There are still houses there right now that trees and bush. I'm sorry I don't have the pictures here. Can grow through those buildings that belongs to the police. That they get bush take over.
Mm-hmm.
They move the immigration office from the Bank area, uh, side the GCOM office in Springlands, and they house it, long in the inspector office of the Springlands police station. For how
Wow.
long, and they
Wow.
can't do nothing. They can't even see the condition where they get our ranks working in. So
Mm.
sometimes, how can they perform? And the ones that are not underperforming, getting the promotion, and the ones that sit down in headquarters, full in the bags with the money and put the car under the desk. And the people and the ones them that walking every day, tiling in the sun and the rain, the man didn't get proper boots when rain fall. The man socks are wet. When rain fall, their clothes are wet. They ain't got a proper raincoat or a proper umbrella that they can be on the road with or work. That is how our ranks are treated. That is how the PPP is treating them. That is how they're treating them. And that is why people gotta understand, this nation got to know, come 2025 general election, we gotta unseat the PPP government. We gotta come from our quarters and make sure that we vote
Mm-hmm.
and vote correctly,
Yep.
rightly, and
Mm-hmm.
properly, so that these people, these jagabat, get out of there and never to go back there.
Got to come out. But you know what? I noticed I Anil, I
Yeah.
noticed the Georgetown Chambers of Commerce and Industry issued a press statement, and they said in that press statement that they have grown increasingly concerned over the recent revelations of a high level of corruption and financial impropriety within the Guyana police force, and they are calling for an immediate investigation. Well, like I said earlier, I don't know who can do this investigation, because you
Yeah.
can't put cat for watch milk. And they're saying, that the Guyana police force is the body that is responsible for upholding the laws. And here
Yeah.
it is, you got right within you malpractices. So I don't know who can do what, but I
Yeah.
will join with them too to ask for an independent investigation outside. None of the policemen must be a part of it. We must bring people in. Oh God, well, that's another story, bringing people in, because you're not too sure if you tell them bring from Barbados. Well, if you tell them bring from St. Vincent and the Grenadines, oh
Yeah.
jeez, we gotta ask Maduro from Venezuela to send some of his ranks. They're gonna be neutral.
Yeah. They will do a better job.
They're gonna be neutral.
They
We
will do a
gotta ask
better
them to
job.
come. We
Yeah.
ain't want nobody from Barbados. We ain't want nobody from St. Vincent. Um, I ain't so sure, because sometimes these money bags just pass a lot.
Yeah. Well, we got some capable ex officers that can carry out a proper investigation.
That
But
that we could
but with the
recommend.
PPP, the first thing they're gonna say, well, them people they say must get affiliation with the PNC, so we
Yes.
can't get them to do it.
You know them. That's the first thing they go for. They
Yeah,
are not about professionalism, because
right.
if we were to recommend Paul Slow, you're
Yeah,
here, no way. No way.
but gentlemen like Paul Slow would be the ideal man to carry out an investigation with this very matter. But
Well,
they will want him around because
no, no.
some ants nest might scratch up there, and then you can hear them big politician name a call and all them thing and so they want no ants nest race because red ants is bite hot.
I
They
know.
want they want no red ants crawl up them pants because when they're small ball you play ball and so on, you end up an ants nest and you feel bumper ball and the red ants run into your pants. You just gotta pull out your whole pants sometime because it may bite. Yeah. So they don't want no red ants to run up them pants because if you get people like Mr. Slow and so on get into that aspect of investigation, a lot of ants is gonna raise. And so the easy thing for them to do is saying these people are affiliated with the PNC. That is a
Well,
good thing. So
Anil and viewers, well, I see me boy Jagdio jump out. Jagdio jump out the other day and say, how we making it clear that any public officer caught in acts of corruption or malpractice will face the full blunt of the law.
it's we're like talking about.
Well, I don't know and which public officer you're talking about,
It's,
because we had the PS,
it's,
Human Services or Social Security, whatever. We had the PS there who resigned with immediate effect.
yeah.
I see she facing nothing.
And
And
you
there,
didn't you
there,
didn't have,
there
you
are
didn't hear anything about the
allegations.
story. You didn't hear
There
anything
are
about that anymore.
there are allegations of missing pension books, the public assistance funds, all kind of thing you're hearing about. I see she face no way yet, none way.
Yeah, yeah,
And once you at a certain level or at any level, if you resign with immediate effect, you lose all your benefits.
yes,
So I'm
yes,
not sure who advised her, but maybe they tell she before we gotta get the bangle to put on your hand go. But I'm
yeah,
hoping that there's going to be an investigation, and we must know why Miss Rupnarine resigned with immediate effect. But here again, we see Jagdio saying that his government is committed to stamping out. And here the words with this man using, stamping out corruption. Well, Mr. Jagdio, Barra Jagdio, start with the police force first. And when you finish with the police force, I want you to go to Ministry of Education, not Office of the President yet. Ministry of Education, go down there.
mm-hmm.
And when you finish there, Barra Jagdio, I want you to tell us about Sue, if you find Sue yet. But
Yes.
you should have started with the first. I should have started with the one first. But you are the first one that the government should stamp out. You first. Because you can't tell us about Sue, anything about Sue. But you're talking about you government, your government, your government. I mean, this man, you know this, and then the man went further to say that they ain't gonna have no chance to wiggle out. And he wiggling the way out all the time. He wiggling out to everything all the time. He
Yeah.
can't tell us about the mansion that he got on the plot of land that he got there, how he got it and how much he paid for it, and if that was the real value. And he's a big, big public officer. But you
You know,
know,
the level of corruption is so high and deep in Guyana.
is the Anil is the tangled web.
Yeah, you don't. Nobody has regard. No public officers has respect or regard for the rank above them, because each of them know exactly what the other one is doing, and because of that, you can't complain to nobody.
No.
What they will do, just like the VP is saying, you know, all they could do, go to press conference, talk big, and that is as much that they can do. But they can't trouble nobody, because it's like this story that Jesus told. Well, if who is without sin cast the first stone, because everybody knows something about somebody, and
Mm-hmm.
somebody gonna tell somebody.
Mm-hmm.
So it's all them know something. So you can't. So everybody, all the corrupt players become untouchable because they attack. And that is what we're facing under the PP government. Is
True.
because from top to bottom, bottom to top, know exactly what is happening.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
And
So
because of that, nobody cares to tell anybody anything. Nobody cares to do anybody anything. Nobody cares if the investigation, will have a genuine outcome, but just camouflage the thing. Well, we can get an investigation just to show the world, like, all right, we are attempting to do something. And that's all. It's all about a showcase, you know, a show. That's all. It's like when you
so
get Halloween, you dress up for frightened people, for a special occasion. But you use the costume for an occasion, but it's not generally what you would always put on. You want look nice, you want look good, you want look decent. But one time you put on thing for a special occasion. And that is what the PPP government is good at. Put on a show. Put on a show for a period. And there are so many people that is entrapped by those shows that they're putting on. We need
Anil,
to be careful.
While we talk about the 16.5
Yeah,
million,
yeah, we need to be careful. We need to. Uh,
we got another 800 million that we learning it was laundered through the quartermaster store of the Ghana Police Force. And this is supposed to be the allowances for ranks that are stationed in the interior and the credit union and the co-op society, consumers co-op society.
yeah,
All these monies, and then of course the 100 million that was stashed, in concealed in black plastic bags in an officer's office. Now, I don't know what they can do about these, but then I hearing too, it is alleged that they got some two senior officers who building a supermarket. They're building some multi-million dollar supermarket in Region 9. I gotta go and check the one out. Rather than going, I gotta get some of my friends to check it out for me. But
yeah,
these are the things that these people doing. These are the things that these people doing all the time. They're taking people money and they're doing all kind of thing with it.
yeah,
All kinds of things with it. But Anil, like I said earlier, and I want to tell my viewers too, the PPP is a whole bunch of tangled web, the tangled web. This is
yeah,
what the PPP are about, and they can't get out of it. Look, just the other day, a 2 months old airstrip is already in distress when we would have spent $397 million on that airstrip. It's in
mhm,
distress right now. Now, that same $397 million could have been used to pay the teachers.
yes, yeah,
But you know what? It's
yeah,
friends and families we give the contracts to who got
yeah,
no idea about building anything. Not even a dark pen they can't build, but they get big contract. So
yeah,
after 2 months, This airstrip is in distress.
Mm-hmm.
And you know, when this thing was highlighted before, they doubted it. They doubted it. And now, bam, you got all the evidence there to show. And you know what they say? Oh, it's just minor things. It's just one edgel. I mean, the man is supposed to be a bishop. A bishop. He is supposed to be a bishop. But the man making all kind of stories. The man talk about what? Spiritual something is what he say? Unnatural forces,
Oh,
wherever forces demand, they say Hamburg in the works at Cemetery Road.
yeah.
Then now the man got thing here now with the airstrip. The man say is minor things. Minor things. Minor things, and plane can't land there. Plane touchdown, that people got to push the plane out. They got to dig up under the plane wheel. Cause the plane stick. And the man still saying it's minor thing. When
Mm-hmm.
you got the lives of people involved there, you're saying that these are minor issues. And I don't know what we're gonna do with these people. I really, really don't know what we're gonna do with these people. Trust me, I know what we're gonna do with them. And then while they're jumping around the place, we had a set of people in Region 3. Um, I try to remember the name of the village. One of them villages there, where the people block the roads. The people blocked the road. They couldn't deal with it anymore. So the people blocked the road. They said, we ain't want to hear nothing. No policeman mustn't come to tell we nothing, Mr. Officer. We ain't want to hear nothing from you. We don't have time with you. The president got come here. Let
Yeah.
Bishop Edgel come here. We don't want to hear anything from you. And you know, these people are saying that they've been there all the time. They do the road, and then the road break up again, and we know why. They're stingy on the materials that they're supposed to buy. So if they're supposed to buy $20,000 worth in material, they buy $15,000, because, mind you, when these contractors get these contracts, you're hearing that part of the money's got to come out to go to whoever award you the contract. So you now, as the contractor, you got to make a raise for yourself. So you pulling back on the amount of materials that you're supposed to buy. Anil, what we going to do with these people? What we gonna really do with these people, Anil? Huh? And then the bishop coming out to say, oh, he's asking, and they're gonna be auditing everything that going on around there. I mean, auditing what? And then he went out the other day to talk about stand up and say, oh, tell a contractor, you go and drive your car through there. And once you could drive your car through there, you're going to keep the work. If not, you're not working here anymore. You don't have the contract anymore. Bluffing people all the time. Bluffing people all the time when they fully well know. And he fully well know that by the time he dismissed the contractor, he getting a phone call from Jaguar to say, hey, relax yourself. Don't, like, you remember when Jaguar to tell you, come on, Edgel, shut him out, you're disturbing me.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
I know what Edgel digging up himself there about. But I'm happy that our citizens in different parts of this country, they're taking a stand. I'm sure the operator is looking for that video there where the folks block the road. They said nothing in passing here. Nothing. Let them come and talk to us. Absolutely nothing in passing here. They must come and talk to us. They must come and fix this road. And why, I tell you, if you see speed with Indar and Edgel reach down there with, man, if you see speed, 2 hours after, look. You see? The people block the road.
All right, so
The
let me
people
do
block
that
the
for
road.
this minute.
But you know, Anel, if it were you and maybe Travis and Ganesh and maybe myself and Annette and some one of us, if we were there, the police would have come with tear gas. They would have come for push me over and all kind of thing. But
Yes.
you notice?
Yeah, you see, that's how they operate. You remember the story that happened with me today. You can't, as long as you are a PNC, you're affiliated with the APNU, you become a disease for the PPP. They want to use everything possible to shut you up and to get rid of you, because they don't want people to know the truth, and they don't want people to know that you're representing them. Some of them, even though they did not vote for us. We still represent them. And we tell people
Yes.
that
And they're
whether you
feeling,
supported us
and they're
or
feeling
you
the
did not
squeeze.
support us, we are willing and we are open and we ensure that we represent your cause.
Yep.
That's what we're doing. And
Mm-hmm.
that's what happened to me. You know, I'll tell you the story what happened to me today.
What
You know,
happened to you today?
today I was arrested. I
What?
was arrested by the sergeant of the constabulary after the mayor told me. He said I'm disturbing his meeting. The man said, "How I am using indecent. I am indecent at the meeting." The man said, he told me, "You can't ask him nothing." He said, "It's his meeting, and the PPP
Wow.
is majority in this country." And he said that the PPP can do whatever they want to do. That's the mayor of Coretta said that
Oh.
the PPP can do whatever they want to do because we are minority. And he said he don't have no answer to give me. And the whole commotion start with the, you know, the breakdown of place, a style of Little Africa, and the breakdown a style at Jukestone. And those two communities are Afro-Guyanese communities. So I said, what happened to them other style and so on if y'all can't break down them rest? Well, it's who says so? Who tell me if it says so? The man get money. The man said, well, it's the PPP run things. The PPP is
Wow.
majority. The PPP can do whatever they got to do. And the man said, get out of my meeting. I said, I'm not going anywhere. And he said, well, here what's going to happen. You got to get out of the meeting. I said, well, you come and take me out of the meeting. You come and you remove me from this meeting. Then the town clerk, who they control, he asked the town clerk to get a constabulary sergeant to remove me from the meeting. And I told him, I said, the corrupt installed PPP, you know, continue to be dictators and undemocratic in this country. Just like they're doing, just like what you are doing. I said, and I said, there is no way people can be treated like that. I told him, I said, listen, I am asking for answers. Y'all continue to refuse to give answer. You know, as the mayor, he do whatever he wants to do during the course of the month. The law stipulate that he's supposed to report to the council what he would have done or what emergency action he would have had to take in the course of between meetings. He don't do that. He don't reveal anything. He don't tell you anything. They give grants when you're asking about a cash grant. They give some vendor grant, family, friends, and favorite. He
Yeah.
select and choose people who they give the $100,000 to. You know, that's the kind you can't ask them when you ask them anything, and when you try to talk and declare the truth. Well, the PPP's majority, they're total undemocratic and they're dictator, and that is what the mayor of Coretta is all about. And the PPP councillor, glue pays the lip. Two of them called me this morning before the statutory meeting. They can't talk, and you know how they vote? When he said something and they want to pass something, and he says, well, we are in agreement.
Wow.
Nobody vote. None of the PPP councillors is given the opportunity to vote for any deliberation. He would just talk on a proposal or an aspect, and when he do that, he said we are in agreement. And I just gonna stop you every time. I said I am not in agreement. I am not. You talk with the people so they can't say anything.
My.
So
The tangled.
he vote for everybody. He deliberate for everybody. He make decisions for everybody. And not one of the PPP councillor can say a word, a single word.
So that's a clear case of the tangled web.
Yes.
Clear
And so
case.
they arrested me and put me out of the meeting. But
And
they put me, and the man Ford said, if I don't want to come out of the meeting, they're gonna kick me off, kick me down the stairs, kick me out of the meeting.
wow, this
Right?
gotta be big. This is
Right?
big.
Right?
You know, the
He could kick.
residents in Coretta, I guess they might be scared. But we should pick it that mayor. We should pick it that mayor. Tell us the name of that mayor.
His name is Amran. Amran.
He should be ashamed of
Amran
himself.
Amin. Yeah, Amran Amin.
You should be ashamed of yourself, Mr. Hamid. You should be ashamed of yourself. You're not worth being a mayor. But you see, they're giving monies to the mayor, the municipality in Corriverton. But the municipality in Georgetown, they ain't getting no monies because this is Georgetown. And the people here the people in Georgetown got to struggle to get monies to pay the workers. These people are wicked people. Wicked people, and we got to stamp these people out. We got to stamp them out. But we got to move on quickly. Anil. I noticed, Anil, we talking about youths the other day. Charles Ramsden stood up in Parliament and he talked about youths and how much they love the youths. And here it is, I'm seeing the sports hall that our youths are supposed to be using. Rain was falling. They had a karate international karate event, a championship, and you know what? It started raining. You know what these people had to do? Embarrassment to the highest for us. They had to put 3 half drums, a bucket, and a wash tub to catch the water. Look what the half drums showing there to catch the water. The place leaking. 3 half drums, a bucket, and a washing tub to catch the water that leaking. It disrupted the entire proceedings for that period. I mean, these people ain't shame. And you know how much millions of dollars pass through the Ministry of Youth, Sports and Culture?
Yeah.
You know how much? But I guess it's the same thing. And yes, it's the same thing with Charles when he comes to Parliament. You can't ask him too many questions. Very arrogant young man. You can't ask him too many questions because it'll tell you straight, you could have your say, but we will have our way. Viewers, I want you to understand. I want you to take note of what the PPP is doing. This here at an international meet, embarrassment for the new Dubai of the Caribbean.
Yeah.
The fastest growing economy. Look what we got to stop. What we got to do? 3 half drums, a washing tub, and a bucket.
Yeah.
Stop water from to catch the water that flowing into the sports hall when it rain. Shame on you, Charles Ramsden. Barajaglia, when we know you ain't got no shame. Efren Ali and you coming up fast behind Barajaglia because you ain't got no shame yourself. The way you talk to public servants when you go out there and you walk about, shameful as a leader. These people, something is wrong with these people. And the faster we get these people out, is better for us. The faster we get these people out, is better for us. Well, we got a big building, Anil. I don't know if you will be able to help our viewers to tell us is who really own this building. I don't know who really own this building. And this building is a nice building, but we don't see anything happening in this building. You don't see anything happening there. And I don't know is who own it. You hear this person, that person, the other person, Jagdio, somebody. I don't know is who own the building. You know this building, eh? Right in the corner of Camp and Lamahar Street. Beautiful.
Yeah. Well, we just hearing names, but we gotta look for the transport.
I don't know who own the building. But I would recommend, Anil, if they don't have uses for this building could be, I'm going out to the extreme there, but they could probably use this building to make a prison,
Oh yes.
Put some of the prisoners right there. And keep a special section for some of these favorite personalities that I can show you there just now. These favorite personalities, the operator can put up these favorite personalities that we got there. We can put some of them right there. Put them there in a little bit of comfort. Some of our favorite personalities. I really don't know who owned this building, but this is a real nice spot.
Mm-hmm.
And it's a nice building. Yeah. But I don't know what this building, I don't know what this be used for, and I don't know who really own it, but they ain't got nothing happening there. So I want to know if it's some form of, I don't know if it's laundering they pass in there or what may know is what they pass in there. But the operator gonna show us some of our favorite personalities. We got about what is how many of them? 4 and 2, 6, must about 7 of them. We got plenty more though. 7 of these people who are some of our favorite personalities. But these are wicked people. Wicked people. While the operator is trying to, well, he's gonna get it now. Look, favorite personality.
Yeah.
That
Yeah.
same place by Camp Street, we gonna save a part for this favorite personality. Next set of favorite personalities. We want to see all of them face. I want our viewers to see all of their faces there. All of them, their faces, we want our viewers to see. You know, it's so disgusting when you watch at some of these fellas here, and the things that they allow to happen, and the things you hear their names calling in, and these are the people who want our young people to look up to them. These are the people who want. We can take a slideshow with them. You know this particular face here? He's a Barbies man.
Yes.
He's a Barbies man. This is the man who I see had company the other day when he was going into the US. He had company. And then they got the audacity to say what? Enrico was being very distasteful, something, and bringing wherever something to his character and all kind of worries. And one fancy letter, see Sanjeev write to Enrico.
Yeah,
fancy letter.
There's a fancy letter.
But they didn't expect the response. So when Enrico's attorney clapped the response in them, I know like the thing dead. I want to know what's going on with that. I would love to see a response from Sanjeev to those 3 attorneys who responded to Sanjeev's letter. Yeah. And they tell Sanjeev, you know, tell your client, wish his father's. Well, oh gosh, you know this one here, sir?
Yeah.
I'm sure y'all know this one here.
Oh. Yeah.
Well, it's not here, you know. It's plenty visas revoking right now. Plenty visas revoking right now. Plenty visas revoking right now. We probably got 2 more of them or so to show. We got the next one to show. These are famous personalities.
Famous, very famous.
And we must highlight them all. We must highlight these famous people all the time because they want the limelight. So we got to highlight them all the time. Highlight all of these people all the time. And it's just crazy that we live in a country where we expect some level of integrity and decorum and so on to come from the people who are in leadership, and you don't have it. When you hear some of these people talk sometimes, when you hear them in parliament, when you hear them, their attitude outside of parliament and in other forums, you want to know if these are the people who are supposed to be heading agencies. But that's what the PPP know about. You remember Priya? When Priya went to the ambassador's house and cussed out the ambassador?
Yeah.
Those are the kind of people they like. As long as you are a questionable character, you in business with them. Watch fancy. Watch Priya them, man.
Yeah, man.
There's a girl who like to abuse. You don't see? Well, now I see she tame down a little bit. But before, maybe Barrett had to tell she stop your nonsense and concentrate on what's happening in education, because I see Dharamlal abuse she out on Facebook and tell she, you were the failure for education. You see how many things happening in education? You're always abusing somebody out on Facebook rather than concentrating on what's happening in your ministry. And since we're on Priya, I don't know if you remember just recently when the teachers were having their issues. Priya got up and said teachers didn't work during COVID. Priya said that teachers didn't work during COVID. Well, I got some pictures there to juggle her memory to show her and ask her what was this. I got some pictures there. Operator can put them up just now. But this girl Priya, she ain't got no shame. And Anil, you know that.
Yes.
Very arrogant.
Yeah.
Very distasteful individual who feels that, you know, she know it all. Look, children. If we were to zoom in properly, you will see, watch them children how they get on the mask. I don't know which time this was, but Priya claimed that teachers did not work during COVID. So Priya, you answer me and tell me what was this. You tell me what was this. We had classes outside of the schools because the children had to be spaced out. Look, children got on masks. Look, St. George's, when we had St. George's High before they burned it down, look, the children got on their mask. And look, the garbage there. Look, other children with masks. And Priya jump out to say teachers did not work during COVID. Look, big school days, they got assembly. All them children got on the mask. Teachers got on mask. Look. And Priya said teachers didn't work during COVID. But these are the kinds of barefaced people that we got to deal with as leaders. The barefaced ones that we got to deal with as leaders. But I ain't gonna bad with them at all, at all, at all. But I know we gotta close this program. But before we close this program, we must talk about these bridges. My friends call me and tell me, well, you know, I'm from the quarantine. I'm from the quarantine. So
Right.
I know from New Amsterdam straight down to Coretta, they can't fool me with that.
Yeah.
At number 77, we got a bridge there that these people spend millions of dollars to do, and yet the bridge incomplete. You want to shed some light on that bridge? The operator will show us some of the pictures there with this bridge. It's 76 and 77 villages.
Yeah. Both of those bridges, um, I got a friend used to tell me, right, that people is like when he cook up. Because when he cook up and he throw the rice on the ground, the beans just roll away from the rice. That they want it loose and dry. It's don't going out with them bridge. It's all them stone on the bridge rolling off.
Wow.
The stone peeling off like if you're peeling, you got a ripe mango, it's peeling off. The rail on the bridge, on both bridges, both sides, they're incomplete. You see the garbage? The
Yes.
PPP, and let me go back quickly. The PPP is saying that, if they get George on New Amsterdam, they would keep it clean. But let me tell you, man, they get Coretta, and Coretta stink. They get garbage all over the place. And to our viewers and listeners and so on, I want them to know tonight that don't be carried away by the fact that, that the PPP, if they get George, you will get better. Because it's a PPP council that is running Corriverton, that is running
Yes.
Ozal, and they get garbage all over the place. Those bridges, they're incomplete. Some people are scared to walk on the bridge, they still walk on the walk path that is built by wood at the side of those bridges.
Yes,
The rail
I
is
saw
not
that the
appropriate.
walk path.
Yeah, the turn at the edge of the bridge that you notice there, they don't have no rail whatsoever in them. And right now, all the stone is rolling off. The stone is rolling off. It's it's bumpy, and the stone just peeling off. The rail is incomplete. Um, to drive across, two vehicles going across again, it's not as safe as it should be. So you can't get people walking and vehicle driving on the bridge, and those are two big new schemes, both 77 and 76. So it's a mess, and the bridge take forever to build, and so it's not yet completed. Rails are not on. The stone are rolling off. It's not properly. The mixture seems to be very weak and poor. Even up to today, I was asking the council who oversight some of this work, and they were telling me the regional engineer. And so I don't know exactly what is happening, who is overseeing this work, how they pass this work, how people have been paid for this work. Yeah, people prefer to walk right there than to
But,
walk on the bridge.
but Anil, I am hearing that the contractor, or this is the front of the bridge, you see? Viewers,
Right.
if you look, operator, just show that picture back. This is the front of the bridge. You see what's going on at the front of the bridge? So, like, you only had the monies to build the bridge, not
Yeah,
to build that driveway there leading to the bridge. I hear the contractor collecting money and gone.
Yeah,
Don't get
they're
paid.
not working there anymore. Both contractors, they're gone. Yeah, there's pothole. It takes water. Like I said, the stone is loosening up. They already got holes and all of that there. Um, like I showed you, see the rail. That rail is supposed to curve around on both sides of the bridge.
And
They
it's
did not do that.
not even painted.
No, it's not painted. And so when a vehicle coming in to 77 or 76 and a vehicle coming out, one have to pull up way out on the corner of the road and wait until the other pass, because you can't turn around, because the opening of the bridge, they did not open the bridge at the two sides so that you could have free access in turning. And
Okay,
like you said, you
okay.
could see it's flooded. When rain fall, it's flooded.
Well, I don't know how far more we want to go with these people. But viewers, I'm hoping that you are seeing tonight the tangled web. That's the PPP, and you must not get caught up in that web. You should not allow yourself to get caught up in that web. I mean, they're smart in 2020, but this time you know exactly what you have to do because you have seen with all of the monies that we were able to garner. I think I heard just today more monies were withdrawn from the national the natural resources fund.
Mhm.
But I don't know where these monies going. But my grandmother used to always say a thing: charity begins at home.
Yeah.
It is good to help others, but you can't leave yourself hungry to give somebody else your food. And
No
look
way.
how many beggars we got here. Look how many people punishing here. Can't
Yeah.
even afford one meal. Some of them, by the time they get one meal, they can't have another meal. But look how much things we pack to send off to Barbados, to send off to here, to send off to there. And we got all kinds of things happening here. We can't feed
Yeah.
the people
You know,
here.
the price of rice double. The staple food that Guyanese eat all the time that can try. We rice. The price of rice double.
Man, when you got into rice, plantain that we growing
Yeah.
right here,
Yeah.
edos that we growing right here, pumpkin that we growing right here, you could hardly afford to buy it.
You
And
can't
and
buy.
look, Jack, you got the face to say a couple mornings ago that the PPP, we must be happy that the PPP was able to bring cost of living down. I don't know which part he living in. Some bubble the man operating from, he doesn't understand what is happening. And you see, these things happen because Barra Jack, you don't go to the market and shop.
No.
Priya Manik Chan don't go to the market and shop. Priya Manik Chan just fly to the US and Canada and so on and shop what do you think name bag.
She say bag and she high heel shoe.
Yeah, while the teachers got to go to the Chinese store. So
Yeah.
they don't shop in Georgetown, they don't shop in Guyana. So they don't
Right.
understand what happens in the supermarkets when, well, people could hardly face the supermarkets. The regular markets, when you go there, 3 limes, $500. A
Yeah.
little bit of 5 or 6 strands of boro, $500. If you see a $300 boro, if you see a $300 celery, and those are things that we grow right here. Right here. Imagine the things that come from overseas. If you were to buy a tin of corn from overseas, it's cheaper to buy a tin of corn than to buy the natural corn that we grow right here.
Yes. Yes. That's true. And the quarantine, people plant a lot here, and you surprised of the whole thing expensive. Two sweet pepper, $500.
Yep.
And them kind of thing. You a little a string of shallot, um, is $200. One little fine thing. Things are extremely expensive. Really, really expensive.
Well,
You know.
Anil, this is the tangled web. Viewers, this is the tangled web. We got to untangle this web. And you can only untangle this web if you go out there, ensure that your name, that you are registered, ensure that you go out there, get your ID cards so
Mm-hmm.
that you can vote, check check the list to make sure that your names are on the list. Because you know what they can do? If you live in at number 77 village and they know that this area is a stronghold for the coalition, they're going to put your names all over the place. So when you turn up elections there, your name not where you live in, your name that's somewhere else, and they look to frustrate you. Start checking these things from now. We are going around Georgetown, New Amsterdam, Corriverton, Rose Hall, Essequibo Coast, Bartica, all over we are there. And we are walking around and we are highlighting to you what the PPP is doing and what you should do to remove them. We don't want to see them again. They are no good for
No,
Guyana.
no good.
Anil, I'm going to
No.
take your closing remarks before we go off the show.
It's good to be on with you tonight. It's been good. It's been nice. I like to know that our viewers would have been edified with some of the things that we would have shared with them, um, because it's important for us to pull up the slacks. When we used to go to school, a small boy, I tell people we used to go to the tire shop, get the bicycle shop. In fact, get an old bicycle tube, cut strings of bicycle tube like rubber band, so that you can tie up your one socks that you wear from September to September to go to school. You pull it up and make sure they're tight. And so what we need to do, our supporters, members of the party, our supporters, people that we can draft into the party. We just want to encourage you that there are slackness, some of the slackness in our life. We need to pull them together, become very serious minded, be very conscious of what is happening around us. Like the MP said, we can help you with finding your name on the list. We do have access to the list. If you know that you're not sure where you would have registered, if your name is on the list or not. I know we can help you with that. We do that here. This end, we try to help people to find a name. We encourage people too that if you move from one area to the other, and if it's distances, very long distances, to do a transfer and so forth. And we also kind of um, evaluate the geographic mechanism of constituency as to whether we should transfer or not because of certain political, play that is
Yes.
in the system or can implicate a constituency shift. So we work on out of that and try to help people, and so that's what we want to It's important. If we're not registered, we can't vote. If it is important that we register, it is important that we get an ID card. It is important
Yep.
that we encourage our family. It is important that we be on the alert for what the PPP is doing, not to be deceived, not to be drawn away by their enticing and flattering words,
Yep.
that would only last for a week or for a month, but for 5 years you can have to be in the struggle, in the disappointment,
Again.
in the hardship. So we just wanted to ensure, keep following us, keep following MP program, following the programs that we have, keep looking at our press conference, so that you can be edified and be educated about
Yep.
exactly what is happening in Guyana and how we can change Guyana to be a better place for all people.
Well, thank you, Anil, and I look forward to sharing this stage with you again.
Yeah.
Folks, remember, boycott all other parallel Emancipation Day programs. We're accustomed to having our program on August 1st in the national park. And so anything else outside of that, boycott it. No for it for them. Any program in New Amsterdam, we boycotting that. One program we are having in the areas that we are accustomed to having them. No parallel program. Emancipation Day is the day when we come out there as a sign of freedom. So we don't want no competition in this freedom. We are a free people. And I'm happy that AGDA and IPADA-G, they've come together to issue that press statement. Before I go, I just want to say big shout out and congratulations to our very own Jomo Primo. He was awarded a Lifetime Award for his contributions towards music. And this is a real big up for Jomo. I know that our national folks, our singers, our artists like Jomo and Kwesi Ace and a couple of them, they have been sidelined. But don't worry, the time is coming and the time is sooner than you think when we are going to promote our local artists, our boys, our girls, quote unquote, let me call them that. And so, Jomo, take a bow, sir. Big up to you. You have made us proud, not only locally, but internationally. And so the Demrock Music Award committee, they have recognized the contributions that Jomo Rubber Waste promo would have made to this, to music in this country and further afield. Big up to you. Big up to Big Red and Kwesi Ace and all the others. Big up to you. We love you too. Viewers, local and overseas, Guyana is our country. And we want you to help us to rebuild our country and to remake our country as the country that it once was. One people, one nation, one destiny. For our folks in Georgetown and those in New Amsterdam and those in Region 5, Regions 1 to 10, including Georgetown, be careful on the roadways. We love you. We want to see you tomorrow. Those, tell your friends, be careful on the roadways. And remember, the PPP is no good for Guyana. And for Guyana to grow, the PPP have got to go. Do have a wonderful night. Happy pre-emancipation to you. And I look forward to seeing you next week for more on Advancing the Cause at 6:30. May God continue to bless you all. Bye-bye.